Alexander the Great's 10-year conquest, from 334 to 323 BCE, was a complex and ambitious campaign that led to the formation of the largest empire the ancient world had seen. By merging cultures, defeating powerful armies, and establishing strategic cities, Alexander not only conquered territory but also forged a lasting legacy. Here's a step-by-step account of his journey. 1. Prelude to the conquest, Alexander's preparation. 1. Background and early life. Alexander was born in 356 BCE in Pella, Macedonia, to King Philip II and Queen Olympias. 1. Educated by the philosopher Aristotle, Alexander developed a love for Greek culture and an analytical mind, qualities that would shape his strategies and vision. 1. When Philip was assassinated in 336 BCE, Alexander quickly took the throne, subdued internal threats, and unified the Greek city-states under the League of Corinth, preparing for a campaign against Persia. 2. Macedonian army. Philip II had reformed the Macedonian army into a highly efficient fighting force, including the disciplined Macedonian phalanx with its long spears, companion cavalry, and well-trained infantry. 2. Alexander inherited this elite army and soon molded it further with his own innovations. 2. Beginning of the campaign in Asia Minor, 334 BCE. 1. Crossing the Hellespont. Alexander crossed from Europe into Asia with 35,000 soldiers, marking the start of his invasion of the Persian Empire. 1. He symbolically visited Troy and paid homage to Achilles, establishing himself in the tradition of Greek heroes. 2. Battle of Granicus. At the river Granicus, Alexander encountered a Persian army commanded by local satraps. 2. His forces decisively defeated the Persians by employing the phalanx in the center and a heavy cavalry assault led by Alexander himself. 2. This victory opened Asia Minor to Alexander, securing his foothold in the Persian Empire. 3. March through Asia Minor and Battle of Issus, 333 BCE. 1. Securing the coastline. As he moved south, Alexander targeted key coastal cities like Halicarnassus, securing a base to prevent Persian naval attacks. 1. His strategy was to weaken Persian influence along the Aegean and Mediterranean coasts. 2. Battle of Issus. In 333 BCE, Alexander met King Darius III at Issus in northern Syria. 2. Although outnumbered, Alexander's well-coordinated phalanx and companion cavalry broke the Persian lines, forcing Darius to flee and leaving his family and treasures behind. 2. This victory allowed Alexander control over Syria and marked a turning point in his campaign against Persia. 4. The Siege of Tyre and entry into Egypt, 332 BCE. 1. Siege of Tyre. Tyre, a fortified island city, refused to surrender. 1. Alexander laid siege, constructing a causeway to reach the island and finally breaching its walls after a grueling 7-month siege. 1. Tyre's fall was a monumental achievement, showcasing Alexander's resolve and strategic flexibility. 2. Conquest of Egypt. Alexander entered Egypt without resistance, where he was welcomed as a liberator. 2. He founded Alexandria near the Nile Delta, intending it to be a hub of Greek culture and a gateway to Africa. 2. The Egyptians declared him a god-king, and he consulted the oracle of Amun at Shiva, which reportedly confirmed his divine descent and bolstered his authority. 5. Battle of Gaugamela and the fall of Persia, 331 BCE. 1. Final confrontation at Gaugamela. In 331 BCE, Alexander faced Darius III's massive army at Gaugamela, near modern-day Mosul, Iraq. 1. Alexander's tactics were crucial. He feigned a retreat to stretch the Persian line, then executed a daring cavalry charge toward Darius. 1. The strategy succeeded, and Darius fled once again. 1. Alexander's victory at Gaugamela sealed his control over Persia. 2. Capture of Babylon, Susa, and Persepolis. Following Gaugamela, Alexander entered the Persian capitals. 2. In Susa and Persepolis, he seized immense wealth. 2. He later burned parts of Persepolis, possibly as revenge for the Persian destruction of Athens or as a symbol of Persia's fall. 6. Eastern expansion into Central Asia, 333–27 BCE. 1. Pursuit of Darius and consolidation of power. Darius III was eventually betrayed and killed by his own men. 1. Alexander honored Darius with a royal burial, positioning himself as the legitimate ruler of Persia. 2. Campaign in Bactria and Sogdiana. Moving further into modern-day Afghanistan and Uzbekistan, Alexander encountered stiff resistance. 2. The rugged terrain and guerrilla tactics of local leaders, such as Bessus and Spitamenes, posed challenges. 2. Alexander's approach involved brutal suppression, establishing fortified garrisons, and marrying Roxana, a Bactrian princess, to gain local support and merge Macedonian and local customs. 7. The Indian Campaign and the Battle of the Hydaspes, 327–326 BCE. 1. Crossing the Hindu Kush. Alexander led his forces over the Hindu Kush mountains into the Indian subcontinent, reaching the territory of King Porus. 2. Battle of the Hydaspes. In 326 BCE, Alexander faced Porus, who brought war elephants into battle, a new challenge for the Macedonian army. 2. Alexander's tactics outmaneuvered Porus, and despite the elephants' initial effectiveness, Alexander's forces prevailed. 2. Impressed by Porus's bravery, Alexander restored him as a subordinate ruler of his kingdom. 3. The limits of expansion. At the Hyphasis River, modern Bes, Alexander's troops, exhausted and longing for home, mutinied, refusing to march further into India. 3. Recognizing his soldiers' fatigue, Alexander agreed to turn back, marking the easternmost point of his conquests. 8. Return to Babylon, the journey home, 325–323 BCE. 1. Journey through the Gedrosian Desert. Alexander's return route took him through the harsh Gedrosian Desert, in modern-day Iran, where the army suffered severe losses due to starvation, dehydration, and heat. 1. This grueling journey tested his leadership as he shared the hardships of his men. 2. Return to Persia and unification efforts. Back in Persia, Alexander aimed to unify his empire through cultural integration. 2. He encouraged marriages between his soldiers and Persian women and adopted some Persian customs, which created tensions with his Macedonian officers. 2. This was part of his vision to merge Greek and Eastern cultures, establishing a lasting, unified empire. 9. Death in Babylon and legacy, 323 BCE. 1. Mysterious death. In 323 BCE, Alexander fell ill in Babylon after a banquet, possibly due to malaria, typhoid fever, or poisoning. 1. His death at age 32 remains shrouded in mystery. 1. As he lay dying, he was asked who should succeed him. He allegedly responded, "to the strongest," leaving no clear heir. 1. His sudden death led to immediate power struggles among his generals. 2. Division of the empire. Alexander's empire was divided among his generals, the Diadochi, who fought each other for control. 2. This led to the formation of several Hellenistic kingdoms, including the Ptolemaic kingdom in Egypt, the Seleucid Empire in Persia, and the Antigonid kingdom in Macedonia. Alexander's lasting legacy. 1. Hellenistic era. Alexander's conquests initiated the Hellenistic period, an era of Greek influence across the Mediterranean, Middle East, and Asia. 1. Greek language, art, architecture, and philosophy spread throughout his empire, creating a cultural blend that persisted long after his death. 2. Alexandria and other cities. The cities he founded, especially Alexandria in Egypt, became centers of learning and cultural exchange. 2. Alexandria housed the Great Library and attracted scholars, scientists, and artists, becoming a symbol of Alexander's vision for a united world. 3. Influence on future leaders. Alexander's campaigns and strategies became models for military leaders throughout history, from Julius Caesar to Napoleon. 3. His ambition, vision, and military genius set a standard for conquest, making him one of the most studied and admired figures in history. In summary, Alexander's 10-year conquest reshaped the ancient world by connecting East and West, establishing a legacy of cultural fusion, and influencing the course of history for centuries. His empire, though short-lived, left an enduring impact on global civilization, bridging diverse cultures and spreading Greek ideals across continents. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and press bell icon for more details.